My dad and I launched our small handmade business about 3 years ago, making recycled wood makeup brushes, and it's been such a journey. Over the past years, we've documented a lot of the making process on TikTok through short forms videos showing how each product is made, but today I wanted to show you guys a little bit more of a behind the scenes and just a general day or kind of week's worth of work as a small business owner that works part-time. On days that I know I'm going to be in the workshop for a really long time, I always try to give my dog a really long walk. This is Diva. She's so amazing. She's the best dog ever. So we just went for like a 3-mile walk, I think, here. And next, the big thing we had to do today was chop up all this recycled wood into even blanks so that it could be used in turning into the makeup brushes. So this is my dad, and I'm so grateful for all the help that he does around the workshop and with our business. I think he's an equal partner as much as I am in this. And his job is to chop up all the wood because personally the little table saw scares me and he just doesn't want me using it. So that's what he spent most of his morning doing while I was kind of organizing and cleaning up. The next step, and maybe one of the most important steps, was drilling the holes for the brush bristles to go into. I didn't realize this at first, but this is a really important step because depending on the depth that my dad chooses to drill down into, it's going to affect the way that the bristles are pressed together. So it could completely change a big fluffy brush pushed down really far, as you guys can see, could turn into more of a densely packed and less of a blending brush. So while my dad was working on that, I was over here unpacking some of the new things I bought, which was primarily sandpaper. I can be pretty cheap about sandpaper and keep reusing the same one forever, even when it has no more like grit or anything left. So I figured I just need to do it and buy a new pack of sandpaper. So here I think I got 80 and 120 grit. And then I just started cleaning around the shop a little bit. I had some like old dried up tools that I probably needed to wash and just separated. Some brushes were a little bit dried out and needed to be tried to clean or something. So I was just working on cleaning up the space and making myself feel a little bit less overwhelmed. At this point, my dad had finished up with all the blanks and gone home, so now it was time to wood turn and get started on making the brushes. Before turning each one, I always make sure to check that the bristles fit properly because it's really hard to go back and drill it once it's already been turned and is a lot thinner and more fragile, but they all were turning out really great, so thank you again to my dad. These makeup brushes are made from 100% recycled wood. A couple years ago, there was a furniture maker trying to get rid of a huge amount of recycled wood that they had all scrapped from their furniture making business. And my dad thought I was crazy paying money for all this garbage wood, that some of it was like less than ½ inch in diameter, but I knew we could find a use for it, and these tiny little eyeshadow brushes are just perfect. I am wet sanding these brushes because I don't have a proper, how would you call it, like ventilator mask right now, and sanding these can produce a lot of dust. I am looking to get a full like helmet ventilator because I want to do this in a larger scale, and breathing in all that dust can be pretty dangerous, and I'm definitely a big advocate for investing in health, so I'm looking into getting one of those. I'm actually kind of hoping that the money we earn from launching these brushes can go straight to getting my dad and I one of those, because they can be pretty pricey. If you guys are into wood turning, they'll go for like about $500, but I mean, it'll last you forever and it's protecting your health. So to me, it's completely worth it. Once this was feeling silky smooth, it was all done. A big thing for me with these is getting them so smooth, because I think a big part of the appeal with these brushes is just the kind of sensation they give you holding a piece of wood versus plastic or something like that. And then next, I'm just working on an order we had for some painted brushes. These ones are always really fun to make, but my dad and I actually are looking to change the structure of how we do our painted brushes. Currently, we have a couple on our website, and we're gonna probably, you guys let me know what your thoughts are on this, but I think we have our Valentine's Day sets, which are red, pink, and white, and then also our glitter sets, which I'm gonna be making right now. And I'm debating getting rid of those and switching to more just custom orders, because I really want to move away from the made to order format, because it's just so hard, and I know that customers want to get their products in faster, so I want to be able to have everything handmade, but having painted brushes handmade is pretty hard. So I'm currently looking at methods to have more custom ordering options, so people could pick whatever color looks best to them, or choose. If I get a lot of emails for gifts ideas, so if you know somebody's favorite colors, I think that'd be a really amazing option and super personalized. So I'm looking more into that rather than just having the ones that I thought of already on there. Which kind of brings me to my next idea, which is being able to engrave them. I've been saying this forever, but I get so many emails of people letting me know that this is a gift, and I think one of the most beautiful things you could do is give them like their engraved name on the handle. I've done this with a couple people who've emailed me directly at no cost, just added a name on the handle since it is pretty simple. But I'm trying to figure out if there's any way on my website to give customers that option. I've been looking everywhere and it just doesn't work with the current theme I think I have on my store. I use Shopify, but I've been wanting to do this forever, because like I said, so many people reach out saying that this is a gift, and I think that would just make it so much more special and much more than a makeup brush, but like a memory, and just shows how much you care. Okay, last for the day was to make another wooden toy. Some of you guys who've been following me probably know that we were experimenting with some wooden toys around Christmas time. These are those little marble tracks. And I stopped making them for a while because the cost of shipping them with the hard wood almost ate up the entire cost of the product. They could be so heavy at times that it really didn't benefit us to sell them online. So for a while we had our store shut down, and I wanted to try making this again using basswood on a new little CNC that we have at our kind of co-sharing space for artists. They just got a new little CNC, so I wanted to test this out and see if it'd be easier to batch produce, as well as a lot lighter, because basswood's one of the lightest hardwoods, I believe. Here I'm just running a simulation of the G-code that I've made, as well as opening up and making sure that the tool that I bought for this project looks pretty good. I wanted to try to eliminate as many surprises as possible, because I wanted this to just be so straightforward and go well so that we could have the toys and reopen the store, but that's not what ended up happening at all. I'll put some clips of the training here. I didn't record too much since, it was a training, but long story short, the board shredded. I don't think that wood works for this, and even the code was looking a little bit off. It was just a complete fail, and I think the toys are gonna have to go on the back burner for a while. Maybe around Christmas time I'll revisit it, but right now it was a no. So this was on the next day. I wanted to set up this laser pecker for our laser engraver. It's a kind of containment for safety. One of the other members here was kind of letting me know how dangerous lasers can be, and that not having the containment for if the laser were to potentially get out could be really dangerous, especially to your eyes. And like I said, I really prioritize safety when working with these kinds of tools, so I wanted to buy and invest in their little containment that they had, so I would feel a lot more safer using this for engravings and what else we might have in the future. While the little laser pecker can be amazing for engraving little orders and adding individual names, I literally had over 50 brushes to engrave, so I decided to head over to our big laser that we have in our co-working space. It's a 100-watt laser, but it is pretty old, so it can be a little bit unpredictable. This was the first try. I don't know what happened. I think it was rolling around or the text was too big. This was the second try, looking a lot better. I will clean up those burn marks so it will look a lot better. But here I thought that if I kept it on the wooden base, it would maybe look better, but it was still rolling around a little bit. I mean, it's not horrible. It is a handmade, more or less product, but here is the other version that I thought it just came out so clean, so perfect. I just do a little sandpaper, but this is the set I've made and I've been using and loving. As I've mentioned, these are completely recycled wood, so I'm super proud of them. And really quick now, I'm just gonna show you guys how I use each one of them. These are, as you guys can see, I just talk about the handle, but the fibers, so much went into creating these brush hairs, trying different high-end brushes. As you guys can see, these are tapered and super fine to mimic real hair, but this is the concealer brush. I definitely want to film some proper tutorials, but this is just a very basic showing of how I would use each one. Here I'm just sticking some cream concealer from REM Beauty and showing, this is just used to diffuse it a little bit. I love this one for any acne spots or under the eyes or any kind of highlighting area. It's really small and blends really well, but this one is my favorite. I have a pretty high nose bridge, so if you don't, you might not have this problem, but when I always get oil in between the space from like where my nose bridge is going down, as I'm showing right here, and a big powdery brush just can't get into that corner. So I use this for really like packing on the powder in there, because that's one of the first spots I get oily. As you guys can see, that big fat brush, it just can't do it as good as the little tiny one. And also, I just love it. I could go on forever. And then we got our 3 blending brushes, which are just used for blending out different eyeshadows. I really like them. They're so soft, but all these brushes are going to be launching soon, and I'm so excited. Let me know what you guys think.